Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't have a lot of time today to film a video, so we are going to just get started as soon as we can. And before we do though, I just want to welcome you back if you've seen my videos before, and if you're a subscriber, thank you. And if you wouldn't mind liking this video and sharing it with a friend and commenting, I would love that too. Okay, today I am going to be finishing a card for my sister and brother-in-law who just celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. And so I unfortunately did not get their card started in time, so it's going to be late, but that's okay. They'll go ahead and take it. Okay, so this is what we are working with. I've got some things already done, like I said, and I worked on this a couple different days, just a little bit at a time, and these are parts of it. And then, of course, we have 40 to celebrate them. This is basically a design I slightly adapted from, I think it was Nikki from Nikki Hearts Cards, and I loved it so much. I think I've made 3 of them already. It's a Z-fold card, but with a twist, because it has the second layer that's also a Z-fold. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to set this aside for right now. That's obviously the main layer. This is the inner layer. And what we're going to do first, I'm going to glue. Oops, and I forgot to warm up my glue. It's kind of a little chilly on the craft room today. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, but it's too warm for a sweatshirt and really too chilly for a short sleeve shirt. So anyway, okay. I think I'm going to get a little bit of washi tape and tape that on the inside because it doesn't want to stay closed. And I think it might be easier. Now, just a reminder, when you're working with washi tape and you don't want to risk having it rip your paper when you take it off, rub it on your skin a little bit. Okay. Oh, that was, oh my goodness. Okay. Live and learn. Let's try another piece, and this time I won't wipe it on my hand. I did put hand lotion on shortly before I started, so. And maybe if I put it closer to the edge, it'll stay. That is, okay, not working. It does work a lot of times though, guys, so it's not a total fail. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. Just kind of, I have these blocks that came from my friend who passed away. They were in her stash, and I was blessed with choosing to take some things. So those blocks are part of a set. Now, I want to center it right. And I'm not going to press down yet because I want to make sure it looks even enough. With the blocks in there, it's kind of distorting my perception. Okay, let's move those out of the way. And maybe we'll scooch this up just a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll take this block and we'll press down. Haha. Okay. We'll let that rest a bit. Now, another component of this card is the die cut in the middle. I think that's on well enough. The die cut in the middle. That's what makes this card pretty cool. And so I just chose, by the way, this paper also came from my friend. All these papers came from my friend. The cardstock and the pattern paper. And so they are lightweight. This is maybe 80-pound cardstock. And this might even be lighter weight than that. And of course, this is pattern paper, so it's very, very flimsy. Okay, but the beauty of this is that we can put like a little thing to put in the middle. So I have die cut. I want to show you these. Hang on just a second. Okay, I wanted to show you these nesting dies that are arches. This is a Spellbinders Essential Arches die set. And so I've taken 3 different sizes. Yeah, the biggest size is right here, and that's what I used to cut the middle there. And then I have 2 sizes that are like right next to each other that I've used to cut these. So let's get that out of the way. And we're going to glue the pattern paper layers onto the bigger layer. If I can get this centered, that would be really nice. That is the beauty of liquid glue. Okay, let's get this other one done. If I would have started this card, filming this card, making this card, get it right, Dee, from start to finish, I think you would have stopped watching way before it ends. So that's why we're doing it after I've already started. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to hold it up so you can see. I have this stretchy, it's called magic cord, and I think I had it from when our kids were young, and I make jewelry as a hobby too. So as something like a project that they were able to make with, you know, like a stretchy bracelet or something, they had this stretchy cord. Now, what would be ideal is if this was clear. But I don't have clear. All I have is this. And so you'll see why it's important in a little bit. So we're going to do it. And the card is blue. And I doubt my sister and brother-in-law will care. I really don't think they will care. Okay, we are going to do a bead of glue on this side. And by the way, I have... Oh, I forgot my scissors. Hang on. Okay. I have this red line tape, and it's, I don't know what it is, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And so we are going to use that too. And it's kind of separating on me, like the lining that covers the, I think I better do it on this side. Okay. We're going to put this on here and aim for the middle as best I can. I'll take my pokey tool. Hopefully that glue won't dry too fast on me, but if it does, I'll just add a little more. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to sandwich the blue cord in the middle here. Now, I have longer than I need. That was by design because I didn't want to be short of the cord, and that would not be good. Okay, you know what? I'm going to add a little more glue to this. So we've got the red line tape to kind of help keep that cord in place, even more secure, I should say. And then I should have a piece of scratch paper under here like I usually do. That was not very smarty. Okay, so we've got this sandwiched in between. Now, we need to let that dry a little bit, okay? So we want it to hold together. That's the important thing. Okay. Of course, the red line tape is, that doesn't need drying. It's just the glue. Okay, that's probably good. Okay, now what we're going to do is, I'm going to turn this over. And as you can see, both sides look basically the same. Okay, the pattern paper design is from the same paper because I didn't have enough to match it up exactly, we're not going to worry about that. Now, we also need red line tape for this part. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little piece, and hopefully I didn't cut it too long. Yes, I did. We're going to put it this way for now. Now, the other thing that could make this a little tricky, we're going to put it on the top above the arch, and we'll put it below the arch. The tricky thing is this cardstock here has a linen texture, which, as I've mentioned before, can affect how glue, other adhesives, how they adhere. So we're going to make sure that is good and stuck. All right. And then, of course, we'll use this to peel off the backing. Actually, it's the top of it, but I like a backing. And the backing wants to stick to your hands, just, See, I've already got it still on my thumb. I didn't get it off. Okay, let me work on that. Okay, now we have our little decorative feature here. And I'm going to, now, okay, something else I need to mention. This particular magic cord, it's very stretchy, but if it's important to kind of pre-stretch it a little bit, because if you don't, then the first time you pull it to stretch it, it will not go back to its original length, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like, when you have a pair of stretchy pants and maybe they're, well, that's not a good example. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, I'm going to center this as best I can. Okay, and I'm going to pull this slightly. Okay. Okay. Now, I think I need to put another layer of red line tape because obviously that one didn't hold. And because I have nothing in the back to kind of, I'm going to cut this shorter because I don't need it quite as long for this. Okay, let's get that on there. And it won't really be seen unless they, purposely peek down from the top of the card. Okay, now I'm going to get this little, come on, little guy. Okay, and we're going to stretch it. And I may have hinted at this and may not have said it, but I did go ahead and pre-stretch this little piece of cord because I wanted it to not get saggy. Okay, now we're going to take this off. Uh-oh, that backing wants to stick to what was there before. I guess it's not the end of the world if it doesn't come off because, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I don't think it's going to be noticed. Now, what we do want to do is trim this extra thread. Okay? Because we don't want that peeking out. So I'll get it kind of close to the tape. All right, so you see it's already moving, isn't it? Isn't this cool? By the way, if you don't watch Nikki from Nikki Hearts Cards, you should. She is an amazing card maker. I love watching her videos, and yeah, go for it. She doesn't know who I am, so I can't say, oh, tell her Dee sent you. No, she doesn't know me. Okay, now we are going to glue this panel in here. But what I want to do first is get this centered. Okay, and I'm looking for an evenish border between the top and the bottom. Okay, and I guess we could have more of an even border on the outsides too. And that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is keep a hold of it, turn it so I can maneuver better. And I'm then just going to keep it in place like this, so it's not going to move. And then I'm going to glue just... Oh, glue, don't fail me now. Come on. I hope I'm in shot, because if I'm not, I am kind of stuck. Maybe I can... There we go. Okay. Okay, come on, glue. Let's rally. Come on, let's rally. This is not... Okay, let me see if I can do this to hold it. Maybe it's kind of gotten dried in the nozzle. I hate having to do this. And if you've watched me before when I've had trouble with my glue bottle, you know why. There we go. There we go. We're cooking. Now, I don't want to get too much glue, because I don't want it to glue in the wrong spot. Okay? Okay, I could put a little more. I just want to get enough, because of that linen texture is harder to stick. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I turned it around, didn't I? So we're good. I thought at first, oh, I'm gluing it upside down. No, we're not. It seemed like it because I turned it around to maneuver it. Whew. That would be a lot of work that I would have to fix. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see if that's going to be good. All right, now we'll turn it right side up. And now we're going to glue this one. Now, on this one, I can glue the whole back side because of the way it lays on the card base. Okay, so get that glue on there. And we're just going to fold it over like this. Okay? Because it's easier. Okay. I just realized something I was going to do before I did this. I think it's still possible, so... Okay. Turn it right side up. So isn't that cool? Okay. Now, I have a stamp set. I don't know where it came from, as usual. But because this is an anniversary card, I'm going to take the Happy Anniversary stamp out. And I just have the scrap of cream cardstock, and I thought that would go well because this pattern paper has cream in it. So let's get out my MISTI this time. Oh, I better close my glue bottle or I'll be complaining once again. You don't need that, do you? I don't need that. Okay, let's get it centered. And we're just going to put on the corner. The sticky mat is no longer sticky. So we just have to deal with it. Okay, I think that's in a good spot. Now, I don't have the right color of ink, so I'll be back. Okay, I got my Distress Oxide Mermaid Lagoon ink, and we will stamp it with this, but before I do, I'm going to take a bit of scratch paper, and I'm going to lay it over the cardstock I'm actually going to stamp, and I want to make sure that it stamps okay, all right? So am I even in shot? I'm going to go ahead and, whoop, wrong way as usual. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this, and I've used this stamp many times, so I'm not going to worry about it being fresh, and, you know, because new stamps, if you haven't used them before, there's a manufacturing film that doesn't always allow you to stamp well. That's pretty good. Okay, and I do like the blue. So that was one other question I had. Okay, now the other thing I want to decide is, do I want to heat emboss this? Because just Distress Oxide, it's wet enough, stays wet enough, you can sprinkle embossing powder over it and emboss it. And so I think I will. So hang on. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss this, but I actually remembered this time. I have my homemade embossing buddy, and I'm not going to need all this, but I definitely want it to, oof, can you see that powder? Oof, I don't think I want to be breathing that in very often. Okay, so I have it prepped for the ink, and let's go ahead and give this a whirl. Now, I'm going to remind you again, when you're using sentiment stamps that are not bold, let's just say it that way, you have to be careful how hard you press. Because if you press too hard, it can kind of squish out the stamp a little bit, and then your sentiment is distorted. Okay, let's see. Now that, you know what? I think I will take a chance and do it again. I think I'd like it just a little more. You know, these little things are everywhere. That's an exaggeration, of course. Okay, let's get that. Not too hard, remember? Okay, I think that's better. Okay, now I'm going to move this for now. And we have our scratch paper. I have this silver pearl embossing powder that I've had probably almost as long as I've been stamping, card making. So we're going to use that. And there's not a lot, but, you know, it was more than enough for this project, wasn't it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my embossing gun, my embossing tool, I should say. But I will pause the video so you don't have to listen to it. Hang on. Okay, I've heated it up, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it on camera because it's not going to take that long. So we'll get going. And always keep it moving. If you've embossed, you already know that. If you haven't, keep the gun moving. I think we're there. Let's see. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Look at that. When they say silver pearl, they mean silver pearl, don't they? Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I will clean up this mess after we're done here. So I'm just going to set it off to the side. Now, what I do need to do is trim this down because I'm going to put it on the inside here unless I leave it here. I'm just thinking out loud here. Leave it here and write my message, because otherwise I was going to write my message on the back. But I could do that. What, you know what? I think I'll trim it down and not have that big piece. So hang on. Okay, I went ahead and trimmed it down with my paper cutter. And so I think I will glue it right here. And now the other thing is, do we want to give it a little more dimension? I think that would be a good idea. And of course, I don't have anything handy, so hang on once again. Okay, I'm back. Let's go ahead and, this is just a scratch piece of cardstock. I should say scrap. Not really scratch. And we'll go ahead and glue that onto the back to pop it up just a little bit. Not a lot. Oh, don't do that. It might leak on the card. That would be very frustrating. Okay, so let's glue this on here. I think I like that. Okay. All right, now I may add some embellishments later. Haven't decided that. My sister and brother-in-law are kind of no-frills people, so I don't know how much they'd really appreciate bling on there like some people would. Okay, so I may just leave it like this. Okay, so here's our Z-fold card. That's actually, this is taller than the one Nikki did, and so I've adapted it just a little bit to fit my personal preference. And let's go ahead. You know what? I think I'll do my hand stamp with love stamp with this blue Lagoon. I hope it works well. You see. I might hold it on just a little longer. Ah, well, it could be a little bit better, but you know what? It's okay. I may even have a fine liner that color. I could just go ahead and touch that up a little bit. Okay, so the beautiful thing about this card with the little thing is that if you twist it, and this is why the cord, stretchy cord, is really handy. So I'm just twisting it, and then I'm going to carefully close it, just like that. So when you open it, ta-da! Can you see that? Isn't that cool? Let's try it one more time. I think these are so fun to do. Okay, do you think that's enough? Okay, let's close it carefully. Now I want to get so that you can really see it in the camera. Okay, you ready? Ooh, isn't that awesome? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And I appreciate your watching more than you know. I really do. And if you, like I said, if you would like, comment, subscribe, share, that would be awesome. And we will see you in the next video, which will be a week from today, Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Take care, guys. Bye.